Good afternoon, everybody. This is a wee video I'm doing a sound over on, and it's more or less just the same as the first video. I originally cut 3 blocks of wood out, and this is the second one. So here I'm just truing up the wee spigot block that I glued on to the piece, because I didn't want to waste any of the wood because it was not that thick. So here we're just roughing the more or less the shape of the bottom of the bowl, and getting into the round. That will make it more presentable to turn after you get all the rough bits out. Just finishing off with the roughing guides there, just to bring it into the round. Skew to straighten up both edges, and that will help it come into more balance. Not an awful lot of wood to take away, just a wee scrape along the sides, just to true them up. It helps the wood turn a wee bit better, and you can see better what you're working with. Just started round the edge over with a bowl gouge. Now you can see we've got a bit of shape on the bottom of the bowl. We'll just refine that with the wing of the bowl, using it as a shear scrape, just to bring the corners all in, and okay, we're just getting rid of the light sand here. I'm just going to sand this a wee bit and put a wee just a sand sealer on, and then we'll turn it round and proceed to hollow the piece out. This is just ordinary sand and sealer. I mix my sand sealer with cellulose thinners, half and half. I originally think it's too thick out of the tin to use straight onto the piece of wood. That's my opinion anyway. Plus it gives you a lot more and it'll last longer. So now you can see we've turned the piece round, and we're going to proceed to hollow the bowl out. Scraper makes a nice smooth finish. I've had a few people asking about the wood. It is ash. Robin suggested it might be sycamore. Even, even though it looks like a wee bit like sycamore, it is not. It definitely is ash. I noticed when I started cutting a few of the pieces into blanks, there was some nice figuring on it, and the ripples on it looks very well, especially when you get it sanded up and it takes a finish applied to it. And again, just checking the depth to see where I am. I think I'm just here about 1/4 of an inch from the very bottom of the base, which would include the wee spigot I have on the bottom of the bowl. The thing about putting spigots on pieces of timber like this here, if you're going to remove the spigot, you have to remember the depth of your bowl on the inside, because once you start to take the foot off, you could very easily end up with a hole in the middle of your bowl. And a few of us have been there and got the badge for that, myself included. It's very easy done. It's, but you can't get out of it. You can set up a indent and making a feature of it to disguise that you actually went through the bottom. Getting it wee clean. We'll apply some sanding sealer, and then we taste the Yorkshire grit, just to take any wee fine lines, the last sandpaper left. You can see here I'm putting some sanding sealer into the actual bowl. It is coming up nice. The grain in it is super. I never seen a piece of wood as nice. It would really look nice in a bigger bowl, but unfortunately I don't have any bigger pieces than that. I got this timber down in wood suppliers in Carrickfergus, and the board was 8 feet by 5.5 inches wide by 1.75 inches thick, and I picked a second board up, that was the ash, and I picked an oak piece up as well, same size, only a bit wider. It was 6.5 inches wide by 1.75 inches. Finished with the bowl part of the project. As you can see, nice figure inside, sanded up well, and applied finish to it. So we've got the lid in the lathe now, and I'm just marking the outside of my diameter for the lid, and I'm just using the parting tool to push it straight through and cut the excess timber off. There you are, and through, and just wait for that to stop and take that off. Here I'm just truing up to the line I have marked. You just want to be gentle when you come down to near the line, and test fit your bottom piece into it and gradually work up to it. I usually put a wee bevel right on the corner of it and see if it goes on slightly, and then you can nibble away at the piece to fine tune it to get a nice clean fit. It's very easy to take too much off, and then the lid is loose fit. When you have a lot of timber here, like the size of this lid, the thickness of it, you don't have much room for air. You need to get it more or less first time. Now that seems to be fitting on okay. It's turning okay. So here I'm just undercutting the bottom, the inside of the lid, and just putting a slight recess in it. No other reason, just to, it's better than being flat, straight across. Just put a slight bevel in it, and we'll just sand that up and put some finish on it. Here you can see I've just put a couple of wee lines in it for underneath it, the lid. Just takes the bland look off it. Here I'm just easing the waste block glued onto the lid, and I managed to get it off. So we have now the lid into the box. We'll just clean that up, clean that excess glue off with a round nose scraper. Okay, I was finished sanding that, and just applying a retest of sand sealer and Yorkshire grit to it. We have put the button hole in it for the wee button to lift the lid on and off. So here I'm just finishing off rubbing some sand sealer in it, and we'll give it a wee taste of Yorkshire grit and a wee taste of crystalline wax, which will finish it off, and hopefully it won't look too bad. Okay, we'll have a wee block in. It's another piece of ice, and I'm just going to turn it down and make a wee button out of it for to lift on the lid. So we're just going to rough this down quickly and sand it and finish it, and then we'll get it glued into the piece. Okay, I'm just test fitting this to see if the lid on the wee button fit on together, and to do so I'm just going to refine this wee bit and apply some finish to that, and then we'll cut it off.